Hello everyone, out in YouTube land, this is Brother Ugly. Decided I'd make a short little video. I'm going to make my first batch of chili now that the weather's getting cooler, and I love chili. It's easy to make, and if you make a big batch, you can put it in the freezer and make lunches for work or for school, and keep reheating it, and it's fantastic. We'll start with my ingredients. I've got some beans here. Kidney beans I was a little bit low on, so I added a couple other varieties. I've been soaking those for 24 hours in non-fluoridated water. Of course, some onion is always good to have in your chili. And I like spice, as you can see, so I got some nice habanero or Scotch bonnet peppers. This is a sweet red pepper. Don't always use mushrooms, but I've got some, so I'm going to throw some in as well. And I didn't have just plain ground beef, but I had some lean ground beef hamburger patties, and these are traditionally raised, antibiotic free, not quite organic, but I guess the next best thing. I use some olive oil basically to start off in the pan. I'm going to mince up my garlic. I can't forget the garlic. I'll mince up garlic and put that in the pan to start as a base, and then the onions to give it flavor, and then I'm going to be adding my tomato sauce and the other cut up vegetables and ingredients. Also, because I like it spicy, I've got some hot chili sauce. This is organic habanero sauce, actually chipotle habanero pepper sauce. This is a Trinidad style hot sauce. And then just some black pepper, garlic powder, just because I like my garlic. And this is some cayenne pepper, ground cayenne pepper. And then of course, tomato sauce. This is probably the main ingredient I'm using that's not organic or natural. And that's just because it's pretty hard to find organic tomato sauce, at least anywhere I've looked. You may like, I sometimes have used some dark 7-year-old Cuban rum in the past for a bit of extra flavor. I don't have any now, but I do have a little bit of Crown Royal, so maybe I'll throw a splash of that in. Okay, so I'm back. I've got my olive oil in my pan, low heat simmering. Now I've got all my garlic chopped up, and I'm going to add my onions in a second here. Okay, here come onions. So remember, low heat. Ideally, if you've got like a crock pot or slow cooker, that's the best way to make chili. As it happens, this wok is the largest pan that I have, and I'm going to make a pretty big batch here. So, get my onions in there. I'm going to stir it up in a second. Okay, so I got the rest of my onions in here. Stir it up a little bit. So this makes a nice base. I'm going to add my tomato sauce in momentarily and my beans, and then I'm going to start adding my peppers and the ground beef and mushrooms. I also add some fresh tomatoes. I've added fresh corn, non-GMO of course, organic. Almost all the corn they grow in North America now is genetically modified, and finally some studies have come out proving that GMO causes cancer and tumors and all kinds of other health problems. So I love corn. If you're going to eat corn, get organic or grow it yourself. Make sure it's, heirloom seeds, not Monsanto Roundup Ready garbage. Okay, so here comes my tomato sauce, and I'm gonna that's in here. Now I'm gonna add my beans. Okay, now that my beans are in, what I'm going to start doing is adding my black pepper, my garlic powder, my cayenne, chili sauce, habanero sauce, and Trinidad hot sauce, which I believe is also made with habaneros. So look at that. This is going to be really good. So now that my beans are in, I'm going to start adding my sauce. Sauce and the spices, really it's up to your taste. As you see, I don't use any real measured portions. Unlike some recipes which are very exact, I sort of go by eye and by taste and add stuff as I go and then see how it works out. Alright, I'm back. As you can see, my chili's come to a nice boil even though it's on a nice low heat. I've added all my spices, I've added a little bit of Crown Royal, and now I'm going to add sweet peppers. And I've decided to cut up some fresh Roma tomatoes, pop them in. I'm using my spoon right now because I just washed my hands. Here come my habaneros. I do not want to touch these again. Make sure when you're handling really spicy stuff, wash your hands real good, because you don't want to touch your lips or your eyes or some other sensitive part of yourself or somebody else, and you know, end up hurting for it. So now, that's a lot of hot peppers. This is going to be insanely hot, I think. I took the seeds out. I'm not totally crazy, but I do like it hot. It's almost done. I've been maybe an hour at it since I first started everything. In between cutting everything up, adding the ingredients, and now the last thing, everything's cut. I just gotta break up the ground beef and put that in next, and then at that point I'm just going to cover it and I'm just going to let it simmer for hours and stir it occasionally. Okay, so now you'll see I've added my beef, and I actually did add the full pound. The last ingredient I'll add is the mushrooms, because mushrooms don't take very long to cook. But at this point, most of the work's done now. Just got to add the last ingredient and then just let the heat do its work. Put the lid on it and slowly let it simmer. Keep stirring it. And you can see this is going to be a really nice chili. Maybe I should add some more tomato sauce just so it's not quite as thick here. So for those of you who asked, some of you have tried my chili and like it. Some of you have just seen photos or heard comments about it and have asked, hey, how do you make your chili? So here you go. And that's that. So thanks for joining me, thanks for watching, and I can't wait to dig into this. It's going to be so good. Alright, catch you in a bit. In case I didn't mention it before, this is what I call my Johnny Cash chili. And if you're wondering why Johnny Cash, the Ring of Fire, the Ring of Fire. Thanks for watching. Bon appetit. Okay, so this is going to cook for a while longer. Just going to let it simmer on low heat and let that flavor really seep in. But it's actually cooked now. It is edible at this point. So I'm going to taste a little bit. So I've got a nice corn tortilla chip. Oh, that is good. It's hot though. Woo! Spicy. Beautiful. Yep, that's my Johnny Cash chili.